Okay, I'm just going to proceed. I'm just going to go ahead and proceed. Yeah, I'll open it here and just read out what I have on my screen.
Sorry about that. Please, can you try again?
Oh, okay. Let's try one more time. Please do let me know when it comes up, if it does.
All right, ma'am.
Any luck?
We yet to see your screen. Okay, I think we should just save time and just proceed. Would you
Yes.
want to share with me so that I can share from my end?
Okay, I think it's about to come up now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any luck?
Okay. Yes, 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 yes. It
All
is.
right. Now let's have this open up. All right. We good?
Yes, ma'am. We can see your screen now.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so self-identity and confidence building. Right? Oh, not supposed to have that on. Okay, I had already done the introduction of myself. I'm the creative director for Ideas Entertainment, and I explained to you that Ideas Entertainment is a dance outfit. We deal in entertainment, dance entertainment in festivals, weddings, birthdays, parties, corporate events, funerals, even churches, whatever it is, wherever there's a celebration of life, Ideas is there to entertain. So I have a background in dance and law and the creative art. I studied law in the University of Abuja. I started in 2005 and graduated in 2012 with all the strikes and everything that we had going on then. And after law school, I went ahead and trained in dance in Perry Dance Capiezo, New York, and a trained dancer in different genres of dances, and also a lawyer, like I have said. I'm passionate about everything that I do and everything that I'm driven by, especially about helping women in finding confidence in everything that they do. I have two girls of my own, 13 and 10. And in the world that we are in today, it is very important that every woman is confident, and the grooming has to start from the very beginning. So in a space of dance where women are objectified, because the moment you hear someone is a dancer, there's a number of adjectives that could be used to describe them. Usually idle and some other derogatory words, especially towards women, towards girls. And finding myself in that space, I got called a lot of things, and I saw it as a duty to turn things around, the perspective people have of dancers in general, and especially female dancers. And this is why I have focused on dance and I have grown on dance. If at any point in time anyone has any question, please do ask. You just need to raise your hand and it will pop here and I would answer them. All right. Like I said, there's some questions that I wanted to ask in the beginning before starting, but I'm just going to go ahead, right? So on to the next slide. Understanding self-identity, like we have on our screen. Knowing who you are beyond labels and roles. So one of the questions I wanted to ask with this is, I want to ask everyone, if you could describe yourself in one word that is not linked to your job, your looks, your role as maybe a daughter or a wife or a student or worker, what would that be? What would that word or sentence be? Is it possible to get a response at this point? If you were asked to describe yourself in one word, let's use one word, that is not about your looks, your job, you being a daughter, you being a student, you being a worker, you being an employee, employer, whatever it is, just one word. What would that be? You can
All right.
unmute yourself and answer. Don't need to
Good
type it.
evening, ma.
Good evening.
Okay, I would say I don't know if this actually what you're trying to say, but I'll kind of a perfectionist.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I don't know if this actually answers the question, but I would say I'm a perfectionist.
Perfectionist. That's a word. It doesn't link you to anything in particular. So yes, that's good. Any other? Any other response?
Okay, so for me, I've been trying to like get a particular word, but I think I have two words in mind if I could share.
Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
yeah, thank you. So for me, I would say I'm kind and I love to help people. Like I love to see people grow. So that's something I would say about myself.
Fantastic. That's great. That's awesome. Any other sharing? All right, I'm going to move forward. So basically what I'm trying to do here is to let everybody understand that confidence starts with how you see yourself, right? The society, especially women, has a way of putting us in certain boxes. And we grow up wanting to fill those boxes and not realizing what we can be for ourselves. And this is one of the reasons why some of us are struggling when it comes to confidence. But if we can see ourselves in our light without what has been put on us, without the label that has been put on us, without the role that has been put on us, that is the beginning of building our confidence. That one word that you use to describe yourself is the seed of your true identity. So it is with that word that you can use to grow yourself and your confidence, right? The word confidence is not one I have ever used to describe myself, contrary to what some people would think because of the kind of work I do. I'm always on stage, I'm always presenting, either teaching a routine or something, and people expect that I'm very confident. But outside of that scenario, I am so timid, you would not believe it, right? So this is one of the things that we have to understand as well. Confidence doesn't necessarily mean you can speak in front of a crowd or you are very flamboyant, colorful, and out there. Confidence comes from within, how you see yourself and the truth you see in yourself and build on that, right? So the word I would use to describe myself is creative. And somehow that links to everything about me because I have used that to build myself. My creativity works for me with my work, with my family, with how I interact with people. That is the foundation of my confidence. And that is how I'm able to connect and build with people. That is where my value, my strength, my purpose is rooted in my creativity. So for the person who says she's kind, That should be the foundation of your person and where you build your personality from, build your confidence from, find your job in. Use that to build yourself in every way. So if you're a kind person, you find things around being kind. Let me throw it into the wind here and say, if you want to find a job, maybe you could go into nursing, because that is one of the criterias for a nurse, to be kind, because people will push you. But the moment you are kind, your foundation is based on that. You'll be able to navigate your workplace as a nurse. That's just an example. And that is where you derive your strength from. On my slide here, I said, like in choreography, right? Everyone is unique. Everything you do is unique to you. In as much as you're learning a routine as a dancer, I'm using dance as an example now because that's the area in which I specialize in, but you can apply this to any other aspect in life. Whatever it is you're doing should be unique to you, not copied from someone else. How you see yourself should be unique to you, not what someone else tells you you are or expresses what you are to them. You build yourself based on your own understanding of what you are. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'd like a response to that, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, you are.
All right, fantastic. So please, I really want to hear back from you, ladies, so that I know that I'm communicating. I'm not just talking to the screen of my computer. You know what I mean? So please, I'll be very happy to get feedback from you as we go ahead so that we know we're going back and forth. Now, I have another question before we continue on this confidence defined, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about yourself today? Not generally, just today. Does anybody want to tell me? I can't hear you, unfortunately.
It's 4.
4, all right?
4.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, for me, I think I'll give myself a 7 because I still feel
7.
like there's so many things I can do. And yeah, I'm not there yet.
All right, that's great. That's a good number as well. Any other person going to contribute?
I would say on the scale of 6, 6.5.
All right, that's a good number. Okay. Everyone has given a great number. Does anyone want to hear my number for today?
Yes.
My confidence level for today. I'll
Yeah.
give myself a 5, maybe a 5. A very hard 5, not an easy 5, a very hard one. Because I had a lot of challenges today and I think I gave in to those challenges. However, I want us to understand that confidence is not about being a 10 every day. We have some good days and some bad days. The bottom line is about knowing who you are and following that step by step. I don't know if that makes any sense. The moment you have your truth, that's your confidence, not the output at the end of the day. Because some days are good and some days are bad. But as long as you're true to yourself, you're always a 10, no matter how you feel for that day. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I would say yes, it makes sense. So the courage to show up as yourself, to build yourself through practice, experience, and self-acceptance. This is what confidence is to me, right? So I am a dancer, and that is something that is put down in so many ways. But I've tried to continue to build myself through practice, through my experience, and accepting myself. Because if I had to wait for the world to accept me, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is a very comfortable place in every aspect of it. I had to accept that I am different, accept that I have been given this talent, accept that I have this drive, not just stop there at accepting it. I had to build myself. I went to train. I had been dancing right from when I was in primary school. You know, when you have all those school parties, I'll go for competition and I'll win. Everywhere they knew me as the dancer, but that was just one of those things little kids do, right? And I couldn't dare tell anybody that I wanted to be a dancer professional. I couldn't even tell them I wanted to be an actor or actress because that's actually what I wanted to do. So I went ahead and did law. And then once I was done with that, I pushed further with my passion. I went to build myself. I said, this dance that nobody thinks is possible, it will be possible. Why? Because I had accepted that for me. And then I practiced, I trained, I continue to train till today. And every time I go out for an event, I find new things to learn about and experience about and continue to build myself. That's my confidence. So whatever you find yourself in, whatever it is that you think you want to put yourself into, work-wise, family-wise, education-wise, accept that this is a challenge that you have decided to take on for yourself. Continue to practice, build yourself on it, experience different aspects of it, and that is where your confidence will stand. Anywhere you find yourself in, anybody wants to challenge you, you'll be able to defend what you know. Because why? You have all the experience and practice you need. And that's the beginning of your confidence. Building your identity. Right? So on to the next point. You don't wait to be fearless. You move despite fear. Right? Just like I said earlier, when I decided that I wanted to go and further my education in dance, my goodness, there was nothing that was said to turn it down for me to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And I was worried that I might be making the wrong step because there was a lot invested in it, especially financially. My savings that I had saved up the entire time I was in school, waiting to just finish. Let me just give my parents that their certificate and then follow my own dreams. If I failed, that was going to be a slap at my face. I was so scared. But I said, you know what? This is me. It was like a divine intervention. I must follow this thing through. Right? So I was scared. I was really worried. I was so worried because of the society I found myself in. Nobody was doing this. There was nobody for me to even go and talk to and ask for advice as a dancer, fellow dancer. I'm an upcoming dancer. What would you?
Yeah, I think we lost her for a second.
Pushing.
Okay. Can anyone else still hear her? Please.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Welcome back.
Mercy has her hand raised up.
Okay, you are actually throwing light on the question I wanted to ask you. I I remember you
Okay.
said I remember you said you knew quite alright that dancing was just what you had passion for, like what you wanted to do, what you love doing above any other thing. And
Yes.
you said there were
Yes.
financial constraints at some point, but you still went ahead and just do the right thing. Now, I want to ask that in a case whereby probably there are a lot of things surrounding your dream or your passion, financial constraints, environment, location, and all, what can you still do? And time is moving.
Yes. Yes.
Because at times you just feel like
Fear.
you're wasting, someone is wasting away, you're not different advice, go for this and that and that. So what can you still do and be happy?
Thank you so much for that question, Mercy. If you heard when I said I went ahead and finished my law, that was my backup plan. It's always important to have a backup plan, especially when you're trying to pursue a passion, because we have to be realistic in every decision we're making. Life is not a fairy tale. Most times you don't even have someone to hand anything to you. You have to do everything by yourself. So it's important to have a backup plan, right? In as much as I felt like I was getting that certificate from my parents because that's what they pressured me to do, it was a good investment as well and a good backup plan that wherever it is I ended up in, I would still have something to fall back on. I don't know if that makes any sense. So when you are trying to invest in something that you feel is going to grow you, and yet you have your doubts, your fears, and whatnot, have a backup plan. Something you have built that you know is tangible. Not everyone is trying to do something based on passion. Sometimes you're just trying to do something to survive, right? But if that doesn't work out, then what do you do? It's important to have a backup plan. I don't know if that has answered your question, Mercy.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So can I go on?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how faith shapes confidence is what I have on my next slide. Okay. So on this, faith reminds us on our worth and that our worth is not earned, it's given. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody just by reading it. Does that make sense to anybody? Faith reminds us our worth is not earned, it's given. Now remember that we're talking about faith. Believing in a supreme being, which is God. The confidence that you have, let's go back to the word you used to describe yourself. You didn't earn that. You didn't work to be kind. You didn't work to be someone who likes to see people grow. I didn't work to be creative. It was given to me. Your kindness was given to you. The fact that you like to see people grow was given to you. So that's what faith helps you with your confidence. If you are a bold person that's able to talk in public and stand on a podium and talk, you didn't just learn public speaking. That courage was given to you by God. So even when you have gotten to a point in your life where you think you're okay, you're balanced, everything is sweet, you didn't do it on your own. That is what faith helps you do. It humbles you. So it is important to build your confidence around that faith, to remind you every now and then, for every step you've taken, you didn't do it by yourself. And the steps you're still going to take are not done or not going to be done by just you. So this faith is a cushion and a reminder of your worth. And if you have that at the back of your head, wherever you find yourself in, any position you find yourself in your life, nobody can take it away from you with their words. Nobody can bring you down because you know what you have. You didn't earn it. You were chosen to have it. And that brings us to the next line, which is confidence grows from knowing you're created with purpose and loved deeply. When you have this at the back of your head, nobody can bring you down. So it is important to have faith in everything that we are doing to help us grow. That would help us to block the negativity that comes with stopping our growth. Faith. Are we good here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, good. Moving on to the next one. I'm gonna add something a little bit to, anyways, never mind, it's okay. So we talked about faith and how it builds our confidence. Now let's look about what holds us back from being confident. Because like I said, sometimes you hear some negative things and that holds you back. But then you need faith to remind you that where you are, where you're going to, you're not doing it by yourself. And however it is, you're going to get there when you have faith, right? So some of the things that hold us back, apart from the negativity, some of us might be very religious. We go to church every day, we pray and all of that. However, we still allow some things to get to us. Even though we believe solely in God and know that God is going to path a way for us, sometimes we just let some things get to us that we do not know is holding us back. One of them is comparison on social media. We talked about this at the conference, and this is one area that I personally am very passionate about. Yeah. My first daughter is 13 years old. She doesn't have a phone. She keeps telling me, Mommy, buy me a phone. Mommy, I said, no. When you are 16 is when you get a phone. And people around me say, no, that's too late. The world is growing. Technology, she'll be left behind. I said, no. You know why I don't give her a phone? She comes back from school every day telling me, Mommy, there's this new TikTok dance. There's this new, people are using pimple patch in school and all of that, you know. And I know how a lot of people who are already adults get depressed from not being able to do the things that they are seeing people do on social media. And I don't think I want that kind of influence on my child yet, until I'm certain that she has built the kind of confidence she needs to know that those things don't matter. Now, people post things on social media. They show you the end result. 80% of the time, it's not even the end result you're seeing. It's filter. So if you want to look at those things that you're seeing on social media and compare it to your life, see this person I finished school with, oh, she's now a multi-millionaire. Look at all the cars she's snapping pictures with. She's even with the president. My sister, most of that thing is Photoshop. So if you're looking at that one, you're just going to hold yourself back. The little you've done, you don't want to post it because it's not up to that standard. Meanwhile, the person you are waiting for is waiting for you to post or waiting for you to do your own so that they could help you grow. According to how they say, your helper is waiting for you, and yet you're looking at somebody who is using Photoshop to pepper you. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So comparison on social media breaks your confidence. And it can also break your faith as well. So it's important to not do that. If you think someone is doing well, you congratulate them And let that not affect you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're snapping picture with the president. Well done. Congrats. But is that your goal? That could be the highlight of that person's life for all you know. Once they have done that, they feel like their life is concluded. They are okay. Meanwhile, they don't even have food to eat in the house. And yet you're comparing yourself with that person. Meanwhile, maybe your promise is to be that president tomorrow. So when you see things that other people are achieving, real or not, is really not your concern. You congratulate them and continue on your own journey. If social media is your journey, go ahead, post. If not, you put your head down and do what you have to do. And that brings us to judgment. Now, the reason why we don't go ahead to do the things we want to do in life is because we're fearing being judged, what the society expects of us. I'll use myself as an example. You see this dance? Till today, till date, the moment I open my mouth and say I'm a dancer, I get some looks, certain behaviors change. Some people don't even respect me anymore. And honestly, it doesn't bother me because I know how far I have come. I do not fear being judged. I walk into any room with my head high because I am proud of the person I have become with what I have been given. Fear of judgment will hold you back further than you can ever think. Because even if you had, say you wanted to start a business today, and your restraint was finance, for instance, even if somebody gave you all the money in the world to start that business, but because you're concerned that, if I don't do it perfect, it will not blow, it will not succeed. What is perfect, really? How would you know what perfect is if you do not start? And the only reason you're concerned about perfect is because you're worried of judgment. Because whatever you do is perfect at that time. Then you will experience something, you will get better, and when you get better, that will be perfect at that time. But when you're thinking about what other people think, that fear of judgment will restrain you, and even all the money in the world will not let you grow. So don't let fear of judgment hold you back. The little step that you take is enough for that moment. What you need to do next is put another step forward and grow. Now to the next point, trying to fit into boxes that weren't built for us. I think I already dabbled on this a little bit previously, right? So I know I keep talking about dance and dance and dance, and I know you people are not dancers. I don't even know if there's anybody here who wishes to become a dancer. But then these are life experiences that you can apply in different aspects of your life, right? So like I said, as women, we're put into certain roles. There are certain things that are expected of us culturally, socially, and all of that, right? And sometimes these boxes are not meant for us in our individual lives. Okay? I don't know if that makes any sense. So when we try to force ourselves into those roles when they are not meant for us, we will struggle in them. Sometimes I think back and think about how I would have been if I gave up on dance and focused on being a lawyer. I'm not saying being a lawyer is a bad thing, but what I've come to understand is law wasn't meant for me. That box was not meant for me. Surprisingly, I would tell you something very shocking. In as much as I keep talking about dance and dance and dance and dance, I'm currently back in school studying midwifery. I want to be a midwife because I realized that I have another love, another passion for helping women, especially women who are expecting, who are pregnant, and whatnot. After I had my first child, there's so many things I didn't understand in my body. My body was just doing, it was just turning on its own. And every time I went to the doctor and I asked one question or the other, they just gave me some shallow answer and it wasn't enough for me. So I'd go ahead and do some research and ask some questions and join some webinars and ask more questions and I found out that a lot of people were going through what I was going through and weren't getting answers as well, until I found one midwife who was able to really break things down for me. And I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to be able to help women like this. And I kept holding on to it. I kept holding on to it. Every year I tried to get into school of nursing, and one thing will happen or the other, and then I'll get pregnant again, and kept dragging and dragging. But I had it in the back of my head. I say, see this nursing, see this midwifery. I would do it even if I'm 60 years old. I will do it one day. And 13 years later, I'm in school studying midwifery. I have actually got the privilege of assisting another midwife to deliver a baby. And it was so surreal. And I think that's a box that's for me. Strangely, I did not study any science course. I was a lawyer, remember? I had to go back to school, study biology, chemistry, physics. I don't even know how I passed, but I did. Because that was the box that was meant for me. It worked somehow. After how many years? It worked somehow. So we keep trying to fit ourselves into boxes that weren't built for us. And when you try to do that, you will struggle. So sometimes you need to step out and think about yourself, your person, what you are. Ask yourself, who am I truly? Who do I want to be? Ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. Are you trying to be this person because your father was that person or your mother was that person? See, some families, we have doctors. The father is a doctor, the son is a doctor, the daughter is a doctor. All of them are doctors because they look up to their father or their mother and they're all doctors. If that's the box that fits them, fine and good. But are you only doing it because somebody told you that that's what will fit you? Or because you know that is what will fit you? Find yourself. Be true to yourself. Ask for guidance from the Holy Spirit. Open your mind to every possibility of who you can be. And if you're not there, find yourself there. If you're not in that space, if you're not doing things to take you to that place, change boxes. Some people are built just to be mothers, just to be wives. To be a housewife is not a curse. If that is the box that fits, there are people that do it with so much valor. Like, I look at some mothers, I'm like, how do you do it? If that's the box for you, please be there. If it's not, wait till it is. Move to what is supposed to be yours. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but we move on. Basically, all these things are the things that hold us back, right? Comparing ourselves on social media, fear of judgment, trying to put yourselves in places that you're not supposed to be. You just have to find a way to figure it out. As long as you know who your person is, it won't be too difficult for you. All right. Okay, so this particular slide, I think I had already dabbled on it as well. This is more for encouraging other dancers like myself right? As a female dancer, we learn to reclaim the stage. You know, every time you're a dancer, especially as a female, the first thing people think about is, oh, that one is a stripper. So I found a way to redefine what dance is. Today, we have a lot of dance businesses. We took the narrative and made it our own. In my dance company, I have about 15 female dancers. And in that 15, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 who are married women and 3 who have kids. Who would have thought that that could be something that would happen? These people are people who studied in various walks of lives. They're graduates from school. They have other jobs that they do, and yet they still dance. Dance for some of them is a side hustle. Dance for some of them is a main hustle. Dance is not just about shaking your body. It's about being creative. It's about being innovative. It's about being open. So basically, knowing your own worth, knowing who you are, you can set your own path on how your life should go. All right? That is my last slide. I don't know if anyone has any questions that they want to ask before I come on to my very last slide.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I'm really inspired. My name is Blessing Yari.
I
Uh,
bless
Thank you so much. So for me, it's more like a contribution, right? Because for me, last year, I was in that space, December last year, I was in that space where I felt like I was not good enough. I was really down. But then
you.
social media, now you always only post the good side. So everybody felt like, oh,
Yes.
well, only those that were very close to me. I had this job I was doing. Like I said, I'm someone who is very kind. And when you said
Mm.
I was smiling, I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love to impact knowledge. So yeah,
Mhm.
being kind to my students is something that I enjoy also.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I'm very happy you shared this with me,
Okay.
with us.
So what? So at that point, I was doing a job I loved so much. I was working in an NGO, and then
Mm.
things happened, and it felt like blessing. You're not good enough. You're not, and I know that I was putting on my best. So after that evaluation, whoa, for me, I get speaking engagement. I would want to turn them down. I'll be like, what do you even know that you want to talk about? But yes,
Mm.
like you pointed, knowing your why and having that talk with yourself. Some days would not be awesome. Some days might not be what you expect it to be. But just keep pushing. Just have that faith that I'm good enough. I'm a good person. So most times I just wake up and tell myself I'm a good person. Blessing, you're a good person. Blessing, you work with others, you love others. And I just, so even if other people are giving me that negative energy, I just know.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I reach out to those persons who would encourage me, just to reassure me that yes, you've got this. So yeah, just sharing it for anyone who needs to also know that.
Well done, Blessing. Well done. Thank you so much for sharing. As you're sharing, I have goosebumps on my body. Like, that is it. That is it. And it's also very important to have it's a very solid support system, because this life is not easy to do on your own. It's very important, in as much as you feel strong in yourself and you continue to hype yourself and you continue to encourage yourself. Sometimes it's very crucial to hear it from someone else that you trust. Having that support system is very important. Someone you can always lean on, someone you can always go back to, rub minds with, someone who uplifts you. It's important to surround yourself with those type of people that have the same energy as you, because you feed off of that and you keep pushing when you have that around you. And it's one of the things that I have on my last slide, affirmations. Okay, I'm just going to do that here. So it's important to have these affirmations for yourself, right? These things help you in everyday life. You just have to know that in every aspect, everyone is struggling. Even the people you might look up to, they find somewhere where they struggle in. But then if they give in to the struggle and give up, then that's a dream killed for someone else as well. So it's important to look into yourself and have the people around you that will continue to push you forward as well. So some of the affirmations I have here, you can read it to yourself and find other materials to use to enlighten and brighten your day as you begin. I have an affirmation tape that I listen to every morning and I play for my kids in the car too, to help them start their day. So based on this discussion we're having today, I put this together. I know who I am. I am more than labels and comparisons.
Please, sorry.
My confidence.
Can you
Yeah.
share your whole screen so that we can see?
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Can you see it now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, fantastic. So this affirmation I put together for this project, I know who I am. I am more than labels and comparisons. My confidence comes from within. I have the power to carve my own path. I choose to live boldly, gracefully, and authentically. These things I tell myself every day. Sometimes even when I'm having a certain challenge, I just remember to tell myself these things. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths, shake it off, and keep pushing. I have one for my children as well. They say that to themselves. I tell them to look themselves in the mirror, hold their chest and say, I am brave, I am bold, I am confident, I am beautiful. I create my own path. Anything anyone has to say about me is not true. So they say these things to themselves. And I try to say them to myself too as often as possible. And so far, I think these have worked for me. Like I said at the conference, one way might work for one person, but then it doesn't work for the other. You have to find your own path, and that comes from within. Find out who you are, and every other thing will flow through. Sometimes Nigeria makes things harder for people than they should be, but God has created us to have tough skin as well. So we will overcome in the end. So with that, I say thank you. I hope I've been able to share enough. If you have any further questions, anything you want to share, I'm open to listen, and I'm sure others are too.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, ma. Guys, can we show her some love? Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the things that you thoughtfully put together. Yes, I'm being careful about that word, thoughtfully put together. I mean, every of the things that you've spoken of, you talk down to reality, because that's one thing that most time we tend to ignore. Most time we tend to just divert from. Sometimes everybody just come out and just post that everything is okay, even when you know that you are dealing with one thing or the other. So yeah,
Yes.
so quickly, yeah, we'll be going straight to the question session. Please just give us a little bit of more of your time. I have some questions here, while I also will be waiting for whoever have questions to ask. So quickly, if you have a question, just raise your hand and you will be given the opportunity to go ahead and ask. So let me start with this. So based on the experiences that you've shared with us thus far, like I can just sum it up like there were some point at some point you were just like doing it afraid, like you're just taking the decision like, okay, let me just do it regardless of the current reality, something like that. Can you actually say that in a way affected anything? For instance, the timing you took to study, you stayed in school, study law, and then now dived into dancing, and now you're now going back to school to start studying something else. Can you really say that those because you didn't have that initial this right or privilege of making that decision at the beginning, can you say that it actually affected something? Okay, I don't know if anyone can still hear me.
Yes.
Uh, I think we lost her on the call. Hopefully, she will join us shortly. But before then, while we wait for her to join the call, so I'll be pasting the attendance link. Kindly click on it and just take a second or two to fill out your information.
Okay. What?
Hello,
Okay.
Okay, okay,
I'm
thank you.
back.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry,
All
my
right.
internet is up and down.
Welcome back, ma'am. Please, did you get the question or should I just do a quick recap?
The question again, please. I didn't hear it.
Okay, so I was making reference to your experiences. Like I could just sum it up as you did a lot of things afraid. Like at some
Mm,
point you just had to just make a decision regardless of the current reality. So I
mm,
want to make reference to it in this way. Like, could you say that it actually affected something? For instance, at first you had to study what your parents wanted you to study. Along the line, you're diving
yes.
into that same, and finally, you're now
Mm,
going back to study something else. Can you really say that
mm.
in reality it affected something?
What affected something?
The fact that you didn't have the optimum opportunity to make that decision of exactly what you want to do at the beginning. Because
Okay,
somebody asked the question earlier, she was saying something about while you wait. It's more like saying while you wait for what you want, do what is available. But in that process of
available.
doing what's available, wouldn't it affect something in the long run? Because timing, I mean, time they say is money. I don't know, but I don't even get the question now.
Yes, I understand the question. Yes. Um, Time. The issue here, before I answer the question directly, is that we are sometimes in a hurry to get to where we are meant to be. But then we have to bear in mind that God has a plan for us. You understand what I'm saying? So, in as much as it would have been good if I started to study dance from a very young age, because honestly, there are certain things that I wish I could do now physically that I can't do because I didn't get the proper training I needed from a very early stage. The fact that I studied law has been beneficial to me because the knowledge I have from law has been able to enhance my business. There are certain contracts that I know how to draft on my own whenever I have certain contracts and certain job offers. And I know how to read between the lines. I know my rights as a as an entertainer. And all of these things I know because I studied law. So there is no delay, if you ask me. That was meant to happen in order for me to be able to grow my actual place as a dancer. And then now I'm studying to become a midwife. I might not even be able to finish my studies in the next 5 years. There might be some other hiccups along the way, but those things that happen are experiences that build my character, that builds my confidence. The knowledge, the experience as a lawyer, as a law student, has a lot of impact on the person that I am today, that I can proudly say, this is who I am. I am Desiree, I am a dancer. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yes, you do what is available because that has been made available for a reason. It will contribute to your growth, to your identity, to your confidence, to your person, to your core, to your values. Because I want that apple at the top of the tree and there's an orange at the bottom. But because I want the apple, I will not eat the orange to get strength and climb the tree to get to the apple. You must eat. You need your strength to be able to climb that tree. And there's no apple there. So you must eat the orange. So if you find something else that is available for you today, pick it up. Use that as a strategy, as a stepping stone to where you want to go. So I had my backup plan. That was my orange. And I knew I was going for the apple, which was my dance. If I couldn't reach the apple, I would make do with the orange. Maybe I would even plant that orange seed and it would grow a tree that I'll be able to climb to reach the apple. You do not throw any opportunity away. Fear sometimes is what helps us to have courage to build towards tomorrow. But when you shy away from what you want to do because you're scared, that is where there's a problem. Because you are scared doesn't mean you should stop. You keep going. But yes, it's important to have a backup plan because that's what life is. Reality is things happen. Have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, as many as you can hold. I said this in the conference. Be open to opportunities, but don't spread yourself too thin. Remember where your goal is, and every opportunity around you should have a link to that goal. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question.
Wow, wow, yes, man, you did. You did. You know, when you were responding to the question, it did remind me of that part of the Bible for those that are conversant with the scripture that did mention something about all things working together for the good of
Yes.
those that love God. I think that's just what sum it up for me right now. The response, yes, it did answer my question. So yes, guys, I'm still waiting for you to drop your question. And if you want to ask right here, right now, just raise your hand so that we can give you the right to start and go on and ask your question. But while we wait for that, Ma, I also want to ask something. Somebody is asking, sometimes
Mm.
when I fail to deliver, I feel less. More like they place some form of this some form of expectation, and then whenever you fail to meet up, you just feel like maybe you were not really really as good as people thought, or maybe you feel like you're not really really as something. I don't know if you get the idea of the question. So the person is
I,
asking, whenever I failed to deliver, I feel less of myself. What should I do?
when you fail to deliver, you feel less of yourself. What should you do? Try again. Learn from what you think you did wrong and make adjustments. That's where growth comes in. Let me use myself as an example. I've mentioned I'm a dancer, I'm a choreographer. So every time I get called for a job, for a performance, I ask my clients what they expect. Like, okay, what kind of dance do you want to see? How many dancers? What are you trying to achieve? Do you want the dancers to interact with the audience and all of that? I ask all the details so that I give the optimum performance, the best performance I can give. And every time I'm always worried that it's not good enough because I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I always want everything to be the way I envision it in my head. And because of that, I don't even get to appreciate the beauty of the work I have done. So I have to remind myself that this thing I'm doing is not of my doing. The ideas that I have in my head is not because I'm so brilliant, I'm so creative. It's because it has been planted in my head. So what is coming out is not my own. So I need to step back and look at it. Because I have those expectations of myself, me, Desiree, I don't appreciate the gifts that have come out from me. So I step back and look at it. Right? So this is one of the reasons why we have high expectations of ourselves and we think we do not deliver. Now, in a situation where you are offering a service, right? You ask the client, did I meet your expectation? And they say, oh, yes, it was perfect. Meanwhile, I was beating, let me use myself as I was beating myself up that it wasn't good enough, but yet the client loved it. And I would have been feeling less of myself because I felt I did not deliver. In a situation where the client actually says, oh, no, you didn't do what I asked you to do, you go forward and ask, okay, what did I do wrong? Take note of those things, and then you do it again. The next client or the next opportunity you have, you make those corrections. We are human beings. We are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to falter every now and then. What you do with it is what matters. After you failed to deliver, like you feel you have, did you sit and wallow and cry and hope that things will turn around? You push forward. You ask yourself important and difficult questions. Where did I go wrong? How can I fix it? What do I need to improve? What do I need to adjust and do it again? You don't beat yourself up because the world is bad enough. It's doing that enough already. I don't know if that answers your question.
Absolutely, absolutely it does answer my question. Thank you so much, Mark. Guys,
All right.
do anyone want to go on and ask question now? We still have some minute
I
left,
saw
so
someone put
please
their hands up
ask
earlier.
the question.
Yes,
Okay.
good evening, ma'am.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
Queen
Yes,
Esther. Good evening.
good evening. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. Like I've really learned a lot. So I have a question. It's kind of personal, but I think I should ask. I
Please
have the
ask.
cycle of friends that apart from their career, they are doing really well. Like they have skills. When I mean skills, have skill, not soft skills now. Like events planner, interior decor, all those kind of skills, and they are really thriving in both their professional life, their career, and the skills they're doing on the side. So this kind of puts me under pressure because me, I'm just focused on my career and I really don't have any skill, like the kind of skill they have. So when I'm in this cycle, I don't really have that confidence. I don't really flow with them because this person is talking about clients, this person is talking about a job delivered, and I'm talking about school, work, and it's not really flowing. And
Okay.
it's kind of reducing my confidence and put me
Okay.
under pressure to look for a skill, the kind of skill they're doing. Let me see if I can fit in. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong thinking in that direction.
Okay. Well, I'm Quidesta. Thank you so much for sharing. What do you do for work?
Okay, I work as HR coordinator.
HR coordinator for a company?
Yes, was speech therapy
Okay.
center.
Okay. Do you enjoy your work?
I enjoy the career part. That's the HR. But with the company I am, no, I don't.
Okay, no, forget about the company for now. The actual
Okay.
work that you do, HR, human resources, is that something you truly enjoy doing? Like if you found
Yes,
yourself in a better
yes,
company, that's something you really would dwell in.
yes, yes,
Yes. All right.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you're happy with your work.
I am.
Why isn't that enough?
Okay, it is, but like I explained, you
Mm,
know, science discussion and all that, it's not really flowing in my direction
okay.
when we are.
In my opinion, what I think I'm hearing, you're trying to fit yourself in a box that isn't meant for you.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
sorry, I
So
didn't get
these
that very well. I think my network
Okay,
just
let
fluctuated.
me let me try to explain it to you. So these friends are doing jobs that are different from what you're doing. So they have their professional jobs and then they have their side hustles. And because you have just your professional job and school and whatnot, you feel like maybe you're not in the right place when it comes to conversations because you're talking about different things. Did I get that
Yeah,
correctly?
yes,
Okay.
you did, ma'am.
All right. Now you feel like you're out of place with them.
Exactly.
And okay. And I say that you shouldn't feel that way because if you are doing something that you love to do that speaks to your value. Now, HR, human resources, is not an easy job. To be in that position means you have to have good um, communication skills. You know how to talk to people. You know how to uh,
To
uh,
really.
resolve conflicts and whatnot. Do you
Yeah.
do you realize that that is a skill that not many people have?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do. So why do you feel like you need to have some extra skill that you already
Just
have?
maybe to fit in. Let me use that word.
Well, I'm sorry, Queen Esther, but your uniqueness is what makes you you. Do not try to fit in.
Okay.
Remove all of yourself and spread it out for the world to see. The moment you try to fit in, you are limiting yourself. The
Mm,
moment you're trying to do what other people are doing just because you are already bringing yourself below your possibility. I don't know so much about HR, but the little knowledge I have, like I said before, to work in HR, you need to have certain skills that some people go to school to learn. So I want to assume that you already have this in you. This is your confidence,
yeah.
communication skills, conflict resolution, knowing how to talk to people and rapport and listen to your complaints or whatever, reach out to people. And there's so much in there that if you decided you wanted to pick one of those values that you have and expand it, you could create a skill that no one else has or a job opportunity for many other people. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
You, as a person, with the job description that you already have given me, is you as a person is skills for 6 people. But because your friends are doing event planning and whatnot, you're now beginning to do one of the things that hold you back, comparison. You might not feel like it, but because you feel out of place with them, it's like you're comparing what you have achieved with what they are achieving or what they have achieved. You have to hold your own and be happy with it. The moment you start to think, oh, maybe I should do something more in that line, then you're depriving yourself. You're not doing, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Mm,
Appreciate the person that you are from within, your core, your value, your strength. Look at that and that alone. And then with that, see the skills that you have and enforce everything you have in them. You don't have to be an event planner. You don't have to be a dancer. You don't have to be whatever it is your friends are. What you are is enough. And what you can be is where you should look at. I don't know if I'm helping in any way here.
yes,
Hello, Queen
you are.
Esther.
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
I helped you
Ma'am.
in any way?
Yes, yes, you have.
Okay, I want to be sure that I have. I want you
Thank
to
you
tell
so
me
much.
what
I
you have,
really appreciate it.
what you have taken away from what I just said to you. What do you
Okay,
think you should do differently moving forward?
okay. I should be myself and develop the skills I have and be proud of it.
Yes, be yourself and love that. It's enough. All right.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much,
much
ma'am.
for sharing.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Ma. And thank you again, Queen Esther, for being bold enough to ask those questions. All right. And for those that are here that may be feeling a bit I know you may be feeling a bit concerned, like putting out certain questions there. Don't worry. Subsequently, you will get the link to the question box so you can drop it anonymously, so you don't have to feel like somebody is going to know that it's from me or not from me. Also, all right, ma, we have a question on the chat box here. Somebody is saying, I get nervous from the fear of thought of not doing something well. Because of that fear, it ends up not going well. How do I go about that? I mean, from
Um,
the beginning, the person is already scared that something is not going to go well. And because the person is already scared, it ended up not going well.
Okay, this is Rema. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know if you were at the conference. I don't know if you were at the conference. When I started talking, oh Lord, before I started talking, I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I was shaking. My hands were shaking. My legs were shaking. Reason being, I don't like public speaking. I do not like public speaking at all. But one of the things I have always challenged myself about is that thing you don't like to do or you're scared to do it. And I made such a blunder. I made such a blunder. And I'm the type of person that when something happens, weeks after it has happened, I will still be replaying it in my head and asking, why did you do that, Desiree? Kai, you should have done this.
Mm.
I don't know if that happens to anyone else. But
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
want you to take from this is the fact that I was nervous to my bones. I even went further to make a blunder. But that did not stop me from collecting the microphone and speaking my truth. That didn't stop me from speaking my truth. I knew the reason why I was there. And I was scared. I was nervous. I made a mistake. I should have even just allowed the floor to open so that I can enter inside. But that didn't stop me. And whether I did well or not, I don't know. But I was happy with myself. I said, Desiree, you did a good job. I might have inspired one person, but that was enough for me. So even if it didn't go well, the fact that I was courageous enough to continue, even with my nervousness, even with my error, has built something in me that tomorrow, I'm sure I can do better. I will still be nervous. I will probably still make a mistake, but I would do better. And I have built something in myself that will help me in the future. So the thing is, we always pressure ourselves to be perfect, but really, what is perfect? There's no such thing as perfect for me. It's all about knowing your strength, knowing your passion and beliefs, and following through with that. So even if it doesn't go well, to whom? It didn't go well for who? Have you done something new? Have you grown? Even if you think it didn't go well, have you learned something? If the answer is yes, then it went well. Then it went well. That is where confidence comes in. That is where building yourself comes in. Everybody gets nervous. Even the people you think are so courageous, are so bold, are so confident, they get nervous. Tell yourself that you're not any different. You're just as good as they are. So even if it ends up bad, okay, fine, life goes on. What are you going to do about it? What have you learned from it? Look at me now. I'm talking very confidently to you people. I would have just said, you know what? Because I fumbled at the conference, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But I'm here. So take that. Yes, it happens. It happens to everyone. You get nervous? Yes. But then do it. You don't do it well, it's okay. Try again tomorrow. Keep telling yourself positive things. The more you feed yourself with negativity, negativity will exude from you. The more you feed yourself with positivity, positivity will exude from you. Positive things, affirmations. I'm good enough. I know who I am. I'm good enough. I'm scared. Accept it, but I will go through it. I hope I've been able to answer your question right now.
Wow, 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 wow. All right. right, ladies, can we celebrate our mentor? Can you, if you have learned one or two or many things tonight, can you just kindly celebrate? Let's show her some love. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma,
Thank you
for
so much
pouring
for
out.
having
Thank you so much.
me.
We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you. I wish I can do a quick recap of everything you've said, but no. Ma, please, we want to ask, is it possible to get the access to the slide you just used tonight? Of those that were not able to see through clearly, or for those that were not able to
Sure,
join the call, even for all of us, so that we can just go over it again.
sure. I can do that.
All
I
right.
can
Thank
do
you
that. I
so
can
much,
send
ma'am.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
I really do appreciate you all for having me speak as a facilitator, as a mentor. I am honored by this, honestly. When I got the invitation, I was like, okay, where's this coming from? But then I think I have put out into the universe what I want for myself, and somehow it's getting to me. I hope I've been able to inspire, even if it's just one person, to find their confidence and identity as a person, as a woman. And if I have, I'm thankful for that. And everything I am is around strength and confidence. And I'm beginning to ramble now. Bottom line is, thank you very much for having me. I
Thank
believe
you
every
so
woman
much,
has the
ma'am.
power to carve their own path, and I hope I've been able to get somebody to think that way too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for being so plain with your stories. Thank you for being so real with us, because it's possible for you to just cover up some things and just tell us some things. But you're just so real with us. Thank you. We are more than happy to have you as our mentor. Thank you so much, Ma.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
And Ma. Right, guys. It's been an amazing session. This is the first one, and I mean, if we are starting on this note, I'm trying to imagine what other sessions would be like. If this one is as awesome, as power packed, as knowledge packed as this, I'm trying to wonder what other sessions will be like. So, yes, the physical conference, we do not have enough time to touch on so many things. So you could see that there were not enough time for people to do a lot of things as their question. But trust me, this mentorship program is designed in such a way that we will be able to sit down on a particular topic and dig deep. So we have a whole lot of things mapped out for the next 10 weeks. We have a whole lot of things planned out for the next 10 weeks. So I am using this opportunity to tell you now that go out there, tell those your neighbors, yes, I'm saying your neighbors, your fellow mentees, that we have started this journey, and it will only make sense that they join us, because we are living after this 10 week, we are living transformed, we are living like a woman that knows exactly what they want, who they are, and we are living going into our world to make impact. All right. So do not whatever it is that you learn today, do not keep it to yourself. In fact, on the group chat, make some noise. Let them know that you were able to the time spent were not was not a waste, rather. So yes, this is the first session, and the first session is focused on self-identity and building of confidence. So next week we will be building on this very, very topic again. We'll be building on it. And that time we'll be having our convener. Yes, our convener will be taking us, diving us deeper again to know much more about this same topic called self-discovery, and then confidence building. So if you still have any question in that regards, or you still have a question relating to this particular topic, fear not, you still have enough time to ask them. Like I said, the question, a link to a question box will be sent to the group within the week or within the weekend, so that you can start dropping your questions in case you just don't want people to know that this question is coming from you. Trust me, it's going to be anonymous, so you can drop your question. And then once again, this is from me to you, from the entire TCW team. We are saying thank you for taking out your time to be part of this great commission. Yes, I will call it a commission. Thank you for taking out your time to be part of this great initiative. That you decided to be part of this one, it means that you have decided to become a better version of yourself. And that is one thing that you need. Like you did hear when our mentor made mention of you trying and doing it over and over again, regardless of the output that you get at first. So yes, that you've made the decision to be part of this, it means you have decided to become better. That I am here, it means I have decided to become better version of myself. All right. And based on what we've heard from her story and from other stories that we'll be hearing, you can clearly see that you don't always have to get everything all figured out at the beginning. It is step by step, line by line, precept by precept. And we keep getting better. We keep getting better. All right. So thank you once again for joining the call.
I said a man that is a suspect that has been
Okay,
arrested
Faith, please can you mute your mic? Thank you. All right, thank you so much for joining the call once again. Kindly ensure that you fill out the attendance. It is very compulsory. It is very compulsory. Thank you. So, all right, Ma, please, before you go, please, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please, will you want to engage us in any task, assignment, anything at all? Very soft, very light, anything at all. We are ready to.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I was asking if you wouldn't mind to give us any form of task, something you would want us to reflect on, something, anything at all.
The only thing I'd want to send you off with is to remember to give yourself some affirmations. Make that a priority to yourself, because this is one thing that helps you build your self-identity and your confidence. Positive affirmations first thing in the morning before you go to bed, and first thing in the morning before you start your day, and last thing at night before you go to bed. When you fill yourself with positivity, you exude positivity as well. So it's important for us to do that. So if I'm going to give anybody any assignment, that's what it's going to be. It doesn't have to be the ones I listed out. You can find some other material on your own. Those affirmations are very, very, very helpful.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma, once again. Thank you. So, guys, well, for the next 10 weeks and beyond, so we are going to start for, if you have started before, if you are used to making those positive affirmations, saying those positive words to yourself, that is beautiful. But for those of us that have not started doing that, this is more like, this is now compulsory for us, because now we want to dive into the reality of whatever it is that we are being taught and whatever it is that we are learning. Start your day, speak words into it, and end your day speaking beautiful words also into it. Thank you so much for joining once again. And so that I will not waste any more of your time, I think it's a good time to call it a night. Thank you everyone for joining the call. We are super, super excited that you made it. Go out there, tell your fellow mentee, shout out to our mentor tonight, and then tell them what you've learned, and tell them what you are deciding to do henceforth. One thing that you've learned and what you are deciding to do better henceforth. Thank you everyone once again for joining the call. Do have a good night rest. Thank you so much, Mar.
All right, Grace, thank you so much. I'm going to leave the chat now. Have a
Okay, Mar.
restful
Thank
night.
you so much, Mar. You too, Mar.